Hello and welcome to part one of the Road to ROSSA, the speedrun series where I'm going to be doing up my cars and showing you guys what ROSSA is all about from the perspective of a complete newbie who doesn't do 200 miles an hour yet. Anyway, so at the moment we're on Tuesday the 25th of March. I did say in the last video that I would start recording this video in the next couple of days, and I did. So we're gonna have to jump back in time a little bit because things have changed somewhat. As you can see, the car is no longer in one piece. In fact, well, this is this is where it's at the moment, and this diff is, well, completely bungled. So we're gonna just knock the clock back about a week or so to show you exactly what's happened, what's changed, and then we'll pop back to the present and then go from there. Alright, let's start with the body. What I'm using is a Montec Zero body. They're pretty good. I mean, I got it in the standard one. The ultralight, I think, is way too thin, but even still, it's quite a flimsy body shell. You're not going to get a ton of downforce out of this, hence why you can see there's some Velcro on the inside here, which we'll come to all that in a bit. So I've got a tiny little cut hole in the front there with these cheap LEDs I bought from AliExpress. I think these were like £1.29 each. You can get them in various colors. All I do is I just put one of them at the front and then put one at the rear. If you can see back there, there's one. So I can see which way the car's facing when I'm doing a speed run. Downforce is one thing that I wanted to add a little bit of. I know that most speedrunners are a little bit against downforce, and that is because they're going for absolute speed. They don't want any drag or anything that's going to take away miles an hour from the end result, which is perfectly fine. Me, because I'm not going for such a high speed, only looking to get 100 miles an hour out of this. A little bit of downforce is fine. It will keep the car more stable, and it worked very, very well for me when I was doing my FTX Vantage speed runs. So here's what I've made. I've made this, which is a spoiler that sits, basically you see the holes, it basically fits the Tamiya TT02 body posts. So it slides right down to the body posts, and when that's on the car, that's right over the suspension tower. So any downforce created will be pushed straight down, into the car. And then I've done something similar for the rear, because this car has some ridges. I just had these cutouts, and again, this just double-sided sticky tapes onto the back, as you can see right here. So you just get a little bit of downforce at the rear, and it's matching the downforce at the front because I made it so both of these are the same. So you get equal downforce on the front and on the rear, which is exactly what I did for my FTX Vantage. What I've seen other people doing is using quite large, carbon fiber and various other types of wing in order to, all they do is just make them help the car track straight. So I 3D printed these. Here's what they look like when they're, just newly 3D printed. As you can see, there's just two 4mm holes there. They're about 4mm or so wide, and you can see there's a little peak here. My friend Adayasu, he helped me with the design of these, and he just put a little peak here just so it cuts through the air a little bit better. And all you simply do is get some of these are nutserts or whatever you want to call them, or threaded inserts, and you just heat them up a little bit, maybe for 5 or 6 seconds in a blowtorch, and then just seat them in there, and then it will look like that. And all you do is just screw them into the case, and they are solid. They're part of the body now. So that's what I've done for the body wise. To stiffen it up, I've got so Scaleworks RC and various other people have done the same, where they've got little side pits to keep the to keep the car, will keep the body stiff. But I've gone a little bit further than that. On the rear, I've done one that, you know, mounts to the tower, and again, that's where the rear spoiler sits. So any downforce created will go straight down the back wheels, which is what we want. And then also I've done one at the front, which actually I've cut to fit this exact body shell. So because this body shell is so cheap, it's only like £22. I can't seem to find the Toyota GT1, what's the company called again? Delta Plastics body. It's the one that I really wanted, but it unfortunately, well, one, they're expensive, and two, they're like gold dust. You just can't find. I can't find them, not at least in the UK anyway, at any decent price. So what this does is this actually allows me to have body shell, which is pretty darn rigid. Once you clip everything into place like that, then you can see here completely rigid. So all of the downforce will be acting straight on. These will be perfect. And then when I add this to the front, again, like I said, any downforce produced by this, because this is then held down by the body pins. To cut the air out, what I've done on one of them is I've got double-sided tape, which I'm going to put there, which will then secure it to the body and, you know, get rid of any air gaps. But then again, any downforce coming from, you know, produced from here is going to just go act straight onto the front suspension. As you can see, all my suspension's locked up, so you're not going to see any movement until I fix the car. So yeah, that's all the aero I've done. That's the body, and now I'm happy with the body. I'm finished with that. So we're going to be moving on to the innards. All right, so what we got going on inside? Okay, so first of all, 3665 G3 censored motor. This is a hobby wing. This is a 3200 kV. I'm running 28 tooth pinion, 25 tooth spur, mod 1 converted. I've got this, I don't even know what to call it, open gearbox unit, I think they called it on AliExpress. It actually came, it didn't actually fit very well, which is why you can see a little bit of, I had to do a little bit of bodging, but that fits perfectly now, and you know, got some nice running here, which is all good. 140 amp max 10 speed control, so that can do up to 4S, and that's censored as well. Everything, well, quite a lot of it is fast tracks stuff. Most of these bits and bobs. Here you can see where I'm talking about the front end pieces. If you look, they are, you see how much movement there is, like they're there, and they can go up and down. Look, there, they're not good. Same with this side, so these need to be changed. As you can see, look at that, that's probably, you know, not helping the steering at all. So the GPM links that I got here are great, and this little carbon fiber steering set that I bought, also great. With regards to what I'm going to do with it, well, first and foremost, let me show you something quickly. Right, so I've got it all powered up on 2S. Just take a close look at this drive shaft. I'm not going to go any further than that, and that is only on 2S. I plan to run this on 4S, so this needs to be sorted. Alright, now I've got this fitted. I'm going to test it on 2S again, see if it bows. Bearing came out. Damn it. That is not good. Houston, we have a problem. We have quite a few problems actually. So this is my TT02 at the moment. Alright, I'm just going to bite the bullet and do a full rebuild. I've ordered a new tub chassis because this one is mangled. You can see all these bloody holes and things that I've made in it over time when I didn't have the tools, and Yeah, I've got problems everywhere, like front steering knuckles, they're bent from, you know, previous crashes. So I had to get, like, I need to get new, I've got new ones of those, but, you know, I've got to do a whole new build. Obviously the front diff as well is a little bit spiky, a little bit jaggedy as well. So not as bad as the rear one, it's still serviceable, but so I had to order new diffs, so they're going to take about another week or 10 days to come. I've got tires, I've got already got some suspension on the way. I've got arms and everything else, so I'm just waiting on the tub chassis, and then yeah, I'm just gonna start all over again.
Nice.
Right, back in the present again. So as you saw, with regards to the whole idea of me utilizing this, as you saw, it kept coming loose. In the end, it wouldn't sit right and became quite frustrating. The original one, even on 2S, this turned into an absolute skipping rope and is now permanently has a slight bend in it. So no good as well. So this drive shaft is slightly thicker. It's 6mm all the way across. But again, it's aluminium, so it survived on 2S. It didn't budge, but on 3S at about 50% throttle, this became again another skipping rope and just started to go all over the place. So in the end, what I did finally to solve this problem is I went on to Amazon and bought some 5mm thick, 25cm long or 250mm long stainless steel tubing. And as you can see, if you just put that in here, oh, get this bloody steering thing out the way, it actually fits pretty good. Just like that. As you can see, it's a little long on one side. And all I did was I simply took an angle grinder and just made a flat spot on both sides in order to hold the diff drive. And then on the opposite side, obviously it's a little long, so I had to cut it down and then do the same. And then make a flat spot for where my pinion goes. And so this is the old chassis, and now we can move over and have a look at the new one. And as you can see, that is what I have made, and this thing works really smooth. I've already done a test last night on this and ended up blowing a tire, and the piece that blew off of it actually whacked me in the shoulder so hard you actually see the camera like go back a little like this. So let me show you that real quick. The tires didn't hold up, probably because they're old, but the drivetrain did. So we're back on 3S again. Got my 8200 milliamp here, 100C. So I'm just going to quickly do a little pull test. Obviously I've taken the wheels off, so no danger of them exploding. So here we go, 3S. And there we have it. Perfect. Didn't even look like it was moving. Not a single bit of chatter or anything. So what am I waiting on now? Well, basically, I need a new front diff. Like I said, that's what I'm still waiting on. Just waiting on new crown gears for that. I've got shims and everything ready to stick in there to make sure it all sits perfect. And then once that's done, I can rebuild the car, and then finally I'll be able to start doing some speed runs with it. I found a road nearby that if I visit it maybe at midnight, 1 AM, maybe 2 AM, something like that. It's just been relayed, it's quite straight, and yeah, it's not too many, not too many cars parked on it overnight, so should be quite a good spot. So as per usual, thank you so much for watching my video. I'm sorry that there's no action in this one, no speed run, but as you can see with all the issues that I've had, unfortunately we're unable to do so. And I did promise you guys more frequent videos, so I'm going to get this one out now so you guys can see exactly where we're at, and hopefully within the next week, I'm hoping the next 3 or 4 days, I'm going to have the differential, and then I'll make a video of me putting this all together with a little speed run on it. I'll run it 2S and potentially 3S on that road, so we can get some, you know, some baseline speeds and take it from there. Thank you so much. And if you're happy to see any more of this, of course, like I keep forgetting, like, subscribe. It really helps the channel, and I'll see you in part 2. Take care. Thank you very much. Bye bye.